All right. I skipped a couple of sessions. Kids weren't cooperating anyway, so who wants to hear them screaming in the background? Anyways, after the chaos is down, they're napping, I can actually go back to live streaming. So, where are we? Almost done with this build, actually. I just gotta... Yeah, the control surfaces are set up where they should be. I've got the correct servo horns in place. Everything is centering where it should be. There we go. That'll look good. I'll trim that horn up. I started running or sleeving and then running the servos. So you start with for Rotoflight, they have it mapped out where you go. So servo 1, servo 2, servo 3, tail. So next I got to run the tail into its place. And then I have the ESC controller. Is hit this one in yellow. I think so. The RPM sensor is this one in red. So these two go next to each other, and then this one goes into the S-bus port over here at the far end, and that's going to be for oh, what was it? I think temperature or whatever. Anyways, the tertiary sensors. There we go. Yeah. I'll probably run that underneath there. Like, no, I don't. I want to run that up and over. Yeah. Just to be safe away from, because I don't want anything rubbing on the gear. I might even, no, there's no way to really safely do it underneath. I could, but I'm not gonna. I think if I run it here, we'll see. I'll decide. Anyways, the ESC, again, let's see where that'll fit here. I'm just in the final placement of the servos, and or sorry, the cabling. And there be, I gotta clean that up, but ESC will mount right there. And then the RPM sensor mounts here. So I'm just gonna clear. I thought I would sleeve these here all the way, but I don't like it. It just was looking tacky. It's nitpicky. I think this looks a lot cleaner this way, so I'll run a bead of cloth glue. And then for my Nexus, or sorry, the RP2, run that one. It's got to go right there. And then I will mount it right here on the tail. And I'll put a nice little zip tie right there, but I'll also mount it to a sticky pad. Yeah, probably right about like that. Give it enough of a little bit of slack. And then that'll sit nicely like that. And I'll clamp it right there with a zip tie. And then that'll be where my antenna sits. And that is absolutely plenty for a line of sight flying on a craft this size. It's not going to be going far. I can go far enough out where this would be a tiny little, it'd be a speck. And I wouldn't have any orientation anyways. I'd just be cutting the throttle and hoping it lands in some soft grass or something at that point. Anyways, next is running cabling, closing this all up. I kind of thought of maybe adding sleeves here, but they got nice enough sleeves. I mean, I guess I could color code them at a later date, but it's good enough for right now. I did figure out this though. Finally, I went on the HeliDirect site and I looked at their actual photo and I paid attention. I don't know if I missed that the first time, but it actually replaces the cross member support. So I took the aluminum frame piece out. This was sitting on it here, clipping in place. This acts as a replacement. I'm assuming they're using PETG. I could be wrong. It doesn't have the consistency feel like they used PLA, but whatever. If they did, boo. I would hope it'd be ABS ideally, but PETG would also work. Anyways, the piece seems to do okay actually. We'll see. The screw mounts are going to be shit, so I'm going to have to CA glue this into place here. But that will secure the battery tray, and the Velcro straps will go right through here. It's just a matter of deciding how I'm going to do the final layout of just tuck these in here out of the way. You're not going to notice them under the hood like that. Optionally, I could have cut all these servo and lead wires and then had them exactly the right length, but who knows? What if I need to replace it, or I don't know. I'm not in the habit of wanting to tear apart any craft ever once it's been built. But I also don't want to rob myself of the option. All right. That'll be one of the last things I put on. So I don't want to bump it. Alright. Yellow is long enough there. Alright, let's get the tail servo going. A little bummed that I did. Well, I guess it can't be ultra perfect, but it'll be good enough. Another nice thing about these sleeving is it does help protect the servo wires. Tail there. just want to add more length. I'm going to re-sleeve it. And yeah, the next probably 3 or 4 hours left on this build is just going to be really boring, mundane stuff. Principal construction being complete and all.
Did he go to bed finally?
Yeah.
He's sleeping now?
He's sleeping now, yeah. I caught him, he snuck out and he was doing, oh, he's playing in the bathroom or something.
Oh.
There we go. I'm gonna give myself an extra 1.5 inches or so. Probably good enough there. This was a lot of trial and error over the last few days, but I found that this electrical tape, Scotch, or sorry, not electrical, painter's tape, it has like a real nice waxy outer finish. But yeah, I was getting real frustrated trying to feed these through. All good now. It is painstaking. This just helps add a little rigidity to the wiring. Oh, that's gonna get annoying. After I get better at it, though, I'm sure I'll make a video with tips and tricks, I guess, on how to sleeve these. I ordered a crochet kit, actually. And I think it was a 2mm needle. This is 4mm, what do you call it? Paracord. Which I guess is the standard size. It's like a slinky or inchworm or whatever. There's the end. Yeah, 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch at a time. There we go. Anyways, yeah, you get this stuff at Amazon or Home Depot. It's just standard painter's tape for trim, and it's got a real nice finish that doesn't get abrasive with the paracord, so it slides pretty quick and easy. Anyway. Alright. signal wire brown or signal wire? Double check. I took pictures. Oh, brown is negative. That's right. I got it backwards, I think. Yeah, okay. It is backwards. Don't like that. Yeah, okay. There we go. Okay, now it feels right. They had a twist in them. And now that they're twisted the right way, they're facing up. All right. There we go. Do not run this hot and long. Just there, just so I can get the fraying off. Nothing more, because you don't want to. Last thing you want to do is be melting your cabling or the servo wires. I mean, which they're not. Like I said, showed you. I just did a little click just to get the frayed tips. All right. Now, back to where I started. I wish I had more of these, but whatever. nice. So the moral of the last 5 minutes. I just wanted it to look a little neater, that's all. And now it's worth it, because I got it sleeved all the way to the end. And it'll look nice with all of these. I might run a dab of hot glue just so it retains its shape, and I'll put it underneath. You know, just right there, and just let it set on the surface. Just so they have a clean, uniform look going into the servos. Is it necessary? No, but you know, on the bench, other people are going to look at your handiwork and tell you you suck. Online, people are going to look at my handiwork and tell me I suck. Or say, no, it looks good. And I hope it's the latter, not the former. And if it is the former, fuck you. That's your opinion. Keep it. It's yours, not mine. Let's see. Alrighty. Could go here and let's just see how that looks with the tail coming up here. Yeah, once I add a little hot glue, or maybe run some fabric glue underneath here and draw a bead. You won't see it from the underneath. Well, I think that'll look kind of nice. I wonder what I could do that could have a hot set. Or I mean a longer set where I just pin it in place here and have, I don't know. Set that. Well, you know, while whatever glue I put on sets. I'll experiment with some of these leftover pieces. But overall, though. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. That's going to look nice. I mean, if I really wanted to, I guess I could run it. Yeah, I could run it under there. We'll see. Or just run it here. But yeah, I had thought of maybe doing red, black, red, or red, orange, red. I don't know. Or just keep it with the Ego Drift as a standalone. Oh, whatever. For now, I'll decide later how I want it to run. But I think it looks pretty good right now as it is. I've seen a few nice AK builds online. Just dig around and look. You'll see some people have done like custom machining and everything. Like, I don't love this that much. This is just going to be a cheap piece of shit little trainer that flies really good and offers you a lot of performance for a cheap flight package, and for people who want to learn how to do their aerobatics and everything and not worry about breaking the bank, but find that their 200 class micro heli is just too hard to keep track of. This is a spectacular. Plus, it gives you access to Rotoflight 2. And yeah, there's people that put Rotoflight 2 on their little S2, and I've seen them on S1s. Anyways, just gotta run the last of these cables in then. What have we got here? ESC in. I don't like because it is too stiff here. I thought I would like it and I don't. Don't tell my wife. That's how men do it, damn it. There we go. All I did was I was heating it up and I was massaging it to just to get a little extra length out of the cable. Good, good, good. Double check. Yep, we're seated. All right, back inside you go. to back to that. I'm gonna run this one in here. That way. Underneath, because I want the battery tray to sit as tight as I can against this this bar. Yeah. Now the reason I'm running it like this, which is a risk of getting brushing on here, but I'm gonna have this tugged snug tightly. And then I'm gonna run it here along the side there, so you can see. And there's fasteners or zip tie anchor points there. And ESC signal wires white on these. I love the color coding on these, by the way. I hate the color coding on the other style. Just, is it yellow? Is it brown? It's kind of orange. This one's more brown than the other one. Okay, we're gonna go with this one as the signal, or as the negative. All right. Obsessive compulsive, don't be shocked if you turn on the camera at a later date, weeks or months from now, and you find that this has been rerun. Just saying. But no, it's good enough for now. Get the machine up and running. Let's see. All right, and there. I'll run that there, I'll run that there. And that'll be tight there, tight there. Could even we'll see. Alright, now if I remember right, so the P line is this orange. I can't remember what the P line does. Or P. It goes into the S bus on my Venom and all my others. I put it into the S bus. I don't remember the logic behind why at the time. Well, S bus because that's where I had changed that auxiliary port for a telemetry or something from the hobby wing. All right, now this one. Son of a bitch, I don't want to do this, but I got no choice. And yeah, at the time I thought it was a good idea having this. It just, by the time you fed it into here, it started spreading it wider and wider, and I was like, no, that's going to end up binding and being problems. So Just enough to get the fraying, nothing more. Alright, so this goes into the S bus, and the red one was RPM. I think that one was going to be a little short. We'll see. Yeah, with all that effort, trying to sleeve them nice, and oh well. And that's why I'm going to make a video later on properly sleeving, just so you can learn from all the mistakes that I made along the way. But it was a frustrating couple hours, and then I went on Amazon and I just ordered a bunch of shit for crochet to help me through. Because I got coat hangers, and because wire coat hangers, they don't hardly exist anymore. Everything is plastic. Fuck me. Oh man, I got so lucky. I almost frayed the fucking line. But I did get right on the edge of it though. This is just for a telemetry signal, RPM sensor. What are we gonna do there? I have liquid electrical tape. That'll work just fine. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Alright. Yeah, I got lucky. I didn't hit the line, but I definitely need to do just a precautionary. I'm just going to coat it. Nope, not the right stuff. Oh, yeah, that's PVC cement. That's not what I'm looking for. This stuff. Liquid tape. Good stuff. Really good stuff. You can get it online or at the hardware store. There you go. All right, cool. Just keep it a little quick rapid dry, that's all. It's not set. Now for these, I did add a pin in the just so that it anchors, and it once it gets anchored in, it holds it properly. Anyways, give that a minute. What else can I do? Not fully tightened yet. Give me some room to slide them in and out, etc. This one is the orange one. There you go. Yeah, that runs nice and clean and out of the way. And there we go. So what I'm going to do is, I think the fastest and easiest way to get this up and running in Rotoflight, since this is being wired exactly the same as my Venom, is the same ports and everything are going to be in use. And the same switch layout, everything's the way identical. I'm going to copy and paste my Venom over to this flight controller. And then from there, I will edit the motor tab and the gearing, because that's going to be different. The servos obviously are going to be a 1500, and I think the Venom is set to 760, but I'm going to run these just generic and stock at 1500. That's plenty. And then after I got the geometry or centered on the servos, then I will connect the horns, and then from there I can do the tail geometry, the switches, the RPMs will be, like I said, they'll be set to match for the gearing and everything on this. So, and I think this was 12T. I don't remember how many. Somebody had messaged me, but I'll find out. I'll give the final stats on what the Rotoflight settings were, and maybe even upload a screenshot of the configuration, or at least link to the build, because I'll upload the data, and then the System X has their pre-tuned the PID settings and everything already set nicely for this helicopter and this particular build. So I'll copy on theirs, but I'll enter it in manually. That shouldn't be too rough. The reason being is also because my personal switch layout is different than the System X switch layout. But overall, this thing is just down to its last final stage. Is maybe another hour or two, and I'll do a final upload on this with my overall end game thoughts of the build, which are positive. I have my negative feedback, but it's overall though this was worth building, 100%. Just it was an aggravation at many points in it, but 100%. I'm glad it's over. It's done with, and now I can get the flights and avionics set up and running. And I'm gonna finish these. I think maybe 3-4 hours. Rotoflight isn't something that gets set up in a few minutes. I know there's lots of people that do that, but those quick run videos, they practice and practice and practice and practice. So anybody who's setting up Rotoflight, it gets easier each time, but it's not something that you can do in 2 minutes or 15 minutes start to finish. You gotta flash your firmware, and you gotta get the receiver updated on the LRS or whatever receiver protocol you're doing. You gotta load and set up your transmitter. It takes time. It's not an impossible task. It's got a great community behind it, so just don't get into it thinking it's going to be like you're up and running in 20 minutes like you would be with your V-bar or Icon or whatever setup you prefer to use that's paint by numbers. And I'm not hating on those. I think that's just fine to do a paint by numbers setup. Because some people, they don't want to be bothered with all the tedious work. And I don't blame you. But I think you're doing yourself a good credit and a good favor by trying out Rotoflight. Especially if you want to get the max that you can out of your helicopter. Your V-bar, I've heard it explained that you'll get 80% of the way there in your first 30 minutes. And then an additional 5% maybe, or 10% tops after your half a dozen tuning flights. But with Rotoflight, for the elitist that wants to get the absolute max precision, then yeah, you got a long uphill battle, and it is 100% worth it. All right, so there we go. Servo 1 here, Servo 2 here, Servo 3 here. Got your tail. And then from there I ran the ESC line, goes into under the hood. RPM, again, that's going to run under the hood. And then my S-bus port auxiliary, that's the P port on the Hobby Wing ESC. If you're looking at a P plus and minus, that's what this orange line is running out to. this one's gonna be fun. This is gonna be frustrating. It's gonna take me forever. I'm agonizing to get this one in. I need more light. Too many shadows. I can't believe I did it that easy and quickly. Don't move. Come on. Oh, I popped it out. Right.
It's so good. Where's Hubby's RC?
Where?
Commented.
Oh. While you're building that, I've taken part of my guess. Right on, Jeff. Right on. I'm blaming you. I was just not. I didn't care about Nitro. I just didn't. I was like, okay, but. And you got me to just take a little interest and yeah. So now I'm looking at the Soxos Paul or the Saab Puma, and I'm probably gonna just do the Saab Puma because if I'm gonna do a Soxos Paul, I'd like to do an electric Soxos, but who knows until I finish my what's on my table. I'm not buying it. I've already made that commitment. No more helicopters until I finish what I started. And that's, well, after this is the Genesis Mini, Genesis Sport. So yeah, well, I'm dragging my feet on them, but not anymore. I don't know. I got the bug. I took a long break though for a while. So there you go, wife. You can blame Jeff when we get a Nitro. Not my fault. But I definitely I'm not doing it with Rotaflight. I'm gonna do if I do Nitro, it's gonna be on a V-bar.
He knows you have a V-bar.
Yeah. He's the one who talked me into it. I want to try them all, anyways. Like Pokemon, I just wanted after I'm done with my Mikado adventures, it's gonna be Ethos. Oh man, just do the one roto flight, then you can shut everybody up about it, and you can be like, yeah, there, I did it. And it is not a pleasant first time setup, not even close. Nitro gas are different. Yeah. Expensive when you fly a lot. Yeah, cost is secondary consideration for me. It's still there. I'm not that loaded, but I do well enough that I don't have to restrict myself. It's availability is where I come into the equation. But I think you were saying that there's not many gas kits out there. Everybody does nitro. Pre-order the Saab Puma. Okay, cool. Right on. I'm not a fan. I ain't hating you, dude. I don't blame you. I see the appeal for others, and then I see the hatred for others. So I don't have a dog in the hunt. I'm glad I did Rotaflight. Definitely, it forced me into the deep end of the pool. And I'm looking forward to V-Bar, even though I got made fun of on the Rotaflight Discord. Like, okay, whatever, dude. I think there's a lot of merit in a paint by number setup. $50 a gallon fuel, 3 days, so $3. Yeah. And we're in a hobby that if we crash, we pucker up and brace ourselves for that $150, $200. Oops. This thing is just aggravating me. I might end up pulling the. I had it almost in. maybe. I'm just doing it wrong. I'll go this way instead. Ta-da! Yeah. Now what? Work smarter, not harder. Look at that, going right in. Jeez. Well, there's your last 10 minutes and I learned a lesson out of it. Yeah, 120. You are right on that, dude. Right, for sure, man. I spent. I don't even want to talk about how many weeks it took me to get through it. And credit to the mods and the team out there. They are really patient with questions, but it was an uphill battle. Lots of reading. And I'm going to go through the same thing with when I do V-Bar. I'm actually I check every day now for the logo. They said October. As soon as that logo 200 hits, it's ordered and I'm going to get it. And I want to, that's my excuse to crack open my, I still haven't even broken the seal yet on my radio. I'm going to, I'll set it up with the flight sim and everything too. But that's my ecosystem trainer right there is the logo 200. There we go. Now we're in place. All of this fighting, and here, look at that, done. I don't care about the cost, but it sucks when you can't. Yeah, that's there. You sharing what my concern was too. Like, how is it going to be getting nitro? I don't know about shelf life or any of that. Can I just buy myself, a dozen cans and let it sit for a few years and then, or maybe do like an annual? I don't expect though that I'm going to be flying nitro a whole lot, to be honest. Just because a lot of the clubs, they don't like that shit. I mean, they don't like helicopters in general, unfortunately, in this hobby, and that's really sad. The club I'm at is really cool, though. Rams. There's a lot of helicopter pilots in that club, and they do fixed wing too, and they do all the high end precision. They're not the little copy paste foam flyer kind of guys. They're the nice laser kits and all that. Alright, there. It's good. It's coming in. So yeah, I get, I like my club though, because I go in there and when I go into the office, I take a helicopter with me or two, because I know on my lunch break when I head home for the rest of the day to wrap up my day, chances are I'll have the club to myself. And I dig that. Yeah, I'm gonna dig it. I am. Well, damn, dude, you do a start to finish Puma, and that's gonna push me over the edge, especially if you're doing one on nitro. And I mean, like a full V-bar setup and everything. I'm not gonna complain. Hint, hint. I know how much work you put into your videos, my dude, and I will never have that level of commitment to this hobby. But this little build here I'm doing, and from now on, I'm just gonna start live streaming my builds just to help people. I didn't see anything on the AK, and as popular as this helicopter is for a first time training machine, I didn't see any builds out there on it. And in my own just this whole painful series, that if people can get, because there were what, 4-hour sessions. Ouch. But at least this, if somebody finds that they're stuck on a manual somewhere on whatever step, they'll be able to look at this video and be like, oh, okay, this guy Kajuta went through the same thing, and here's where he was cussing and screaming, and okay, I'm not alone. And yeah, for the record, folks, this is not, don't turn this on the loudspeaker in your house if you don't want your children hearing swearing, because I got a potty mouth. Right. There was actually a while on that I thought, well, I'll do one page, one video, or one chapter, and then you can click on page 2, page 3, and I don't even have that level of commitment. So just raw, uncut, 4 hours of live stream building deal. And I'm going to add one more redundant zip tie here, just because I don't want to risk anything vibrating into the pinion. There we go. Build videos are a massive pain. Yeah, they are. I spent the ones you do. I've studied your videos, and you know what? You got me through my my Venom when I was just like, I can't do this. This is just, and I got through my Venom, my dude. So thank you. And then all your other videos, a lot of editing goes into that. What a pain in the ass. Wow. Yeah. I steer as many people to your videos as I can, though. Just I don't like, look, if you want a professional video, go look at what Jeff does. There's a professional build series right there. So thank you, my good dude, for sure. I think that. I'm gonna go here, clamp that down there. Let's see what we do there. All right. Let's see. Oh, for sure, dude. We're we'll meet you when we go. I'll come shake your hand for sure. I'll come shake your hand when I go to Urcha next year. This year just was not in the cards. My son. Man, you have no idea. He's too young for travel. We took a 2-week vacation to the Philippines, and I never want to travel again. That's how I feel about it. He was just... You have a... And I knew it in advance. We did everything we could. All the bribes and the candy, and just... He was pissed crossing the ocean. And he was pissed on the layover at the airports. And he was angry because he wants to go, he wants to explore, he wants to walk. Why are you preventing me from going out and having fun? I want to pull on this person and tug and meet and say hi and just, I'm like, dude, you can't do that. No. And he was mad. He was so mad. This is an angry, screaming baby. I felt so bad for I apologize for the people that look the next 12 hours, just so you know. Oh no, it's okay. It's a baby. We understand. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is going to be a nightmare flight for all of you. And I'm going to desperately do my best, but he was not. Like, I had to restrain him in the, like a landing. Take off and landing. I had to pin him to my chest and restrain him because he was thrashing, desperately angry, trying to get out and be wild. Like, no, dude. So, you know, you hold a 13-month-old baby against their will when they're used to having free reign of the house and wandering and grabbing and pulling and tugging into everything. He was not having it. Ugh, can you imagine being trapped for 20-something plus hours in a cross-country road trip? No, thank you. Yeah, Urcha was not going to happen. Not this year. Next year. Next year. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, my daughter's really docile. I don't know how yours is, but by a landslide, my daughter is way more docile than my son. She, you know, she's just hardwired that way. Like, she wants to, well, any little kid's gonna act up, sure, but I thought I had pretty good parenting skills until my son came along. I was like, hold my beer. You think I'm gonna let you do anything you want that I don't approve of in advance? No. I love him, but damn. All right, have a good day, Jeff. Catch you later, my dude. And thanks again. All right, there we go. Well, shit, that is... I got it in place. Yeah, let's see. Brr. All right. No, I'm not gonna cheap out on that. I got these. Oh, there's some proper Velcro. I'm sure whatever they got in here, it's adequate enough. It's just the tape. What quality on the tape are they gonna have? There we go. Do I want I think I want soft felt on the battery side and hard scratch on the craft side. Because when I'm because when I'm setting battery packs and laying them around on the bench and stuff, I don't think I don't know if it'll matter or not, but I just don't want to have be gripping up a lot of debris constantly. Well, it's not like I can't take this off anyways. Let's see. I think this might be a good idea. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no. The concept works. What? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. Mr. Mad awake. Did you wake up on the fussy side of the bed? Your nap ended a little short, dude. I don't even think that was an hour. Are you mad? Are you angered? Yeah. Oh, the sad baby, baby, so sad. The mad baby, baby mad, mad, mad. Daddy, don't make fun of me. I wanna cry and be cranky. I'm mad at you, Daddy, for making fun of my misery. Oh no. We're the mad baby. Come here, buddy. Hey. Tell me, what has caused this anger? You're supposed to wake up from a nap and be all happy about it, not mad about it. Are you hungry? No? Okay. Are you thirsty? Okay, you want something to drink. How about a hug? Will that make you feel better? Oh. What happened to your arm? Your mom will have to put some ointment on that. Look at you. It's a sweaty heat rash. Alright, let's get you something to drink. Will that you feel better with the drink? Oh, you want to be held. That too, huh? Do you want cold or warm milk? I don't think you care right now. Yeah? Alright, we'll make it warm. I like it cold though. Here's some milk. What do you think? Alrighty. You're fine. You're fine. Oh no. Heaven forbid the couch be super comfy and stretched out for you. Look at that. Can you get any better than that? I don't think so. That's paradise. You have made it to Valhalla. Yeah, so I tried these 40Cs and heavier, but also just not feeling it on the size. They were brushing right up into the canopy and whatever. I think they were like 13 bucks a pop anyways. I'll come up with something for them. I did get a bunch of a pair of the another. I think I got 4 of these or 2 of them. I definitely got 2, but whatever. They were on sale again today on CNHL website, a flash sale, and I think they were $9.99 a piece. And that's a pretty smoking deal for an 1800 6S pack. 10 bucks. And I don't think anybody has come close to beating CNHL prices. But yeah, so I can go with 2200 or I can go with an 1800. And I think 1800 will fit just fine in there too. Look at that. So if I have a, I wonder what they would, they're actually pretty close in weight feeling. I don't know. I don't know which one is more. I'd have to wait weenie it out, but anyways, so there you go. An 1800 pack or 2200 milliamp pack. And I don't buy into the C rating really, but for whatever. That's their, these are meant for their FPV, but they work just fine as flight packs for helicopter. All right. Percent isopropyl, just cleaning the surface. All good there. This is surface prep for adhesives. You don't really want to be breathing the fumes in. That's pretty gnarly. Ugh. Very potent. Even just this little bit, I can smell it good. Yeah. There we go. I just did CA glue in there. I don't know. I really want to, I'm having faith in this. There we go, good. All right. Yeah, this stuff is filled with all kinds of warning. Do not get on flesh. Do not get on skin. So I'm being careful. I don't really want to breathe it either. All right. And then these special pads are for cleaning the surface after you've prepped it. And these also have their own chemical, so it must be a two-part solution. Because these smell terrible. And they come out dry, but they smell awful. Whatever's on them is terrible. But I'll tell you what though, when I mounted my Nexus flight controller, that thing set instantly. That was a one and done mounting. There was no go backs. Not at all. I nailed it. I mean, if I'm gonna nitpick, maybe a half to 3/4 of a degree on the alignment, but that's not going to cause any kind of drift or out of. It's just no. It's about as level of mounting as I've ever done on a Nexus. And all my others are flying just fine. This, I don't know where it's going to line up with the. 'Cause these horns come in here. Sorry, internally. There. Nope. There we go. I might have to. Ooh, I hope I don't have to redo this. I'll probably put it here. We'll see where these horns come. No, see. No, that's gonna suck if I go to do my geometry and it's binding. Then these cables come out. That's all there is to it. Fuck, if they don't leave you hardly any space though. Shit. I'll come up with something. But it might mean rerouting these lines. I could run them internally, but no, that's brushing really close to, I don't know. We'll come up, we'll see. We'll see where these actually sit with the geometry and everything, but this is gonna have to be really tight on there. Boy, that's gonna piss me off. All that effort. It might mean running these on the outside, because I was trying to avoid it for the packs, but I might end up having no choice. Oof, that's already super. Well, let's see. Because I was hoping to come under this, but I might have to actually bring it here. So that runs underneath this. It's just we'll see. We'll see where these all run. But putting a zip tie right here might end up being what I have to do. We'll see where the length of the servo throw is. So you can see what I'm talking about right there. I might have to zip tie this here. Just to lower it up and out of the way. Because I don't want it binding on and rubbing on the servo horns. not letting anybody doubt. He's a mad little baby right now. He got his milk. His diaper's good. I'm gonna go pay attention to him though. That's really probably what he wants. He's just bored. He woke up early from the nap. He should have been napping still. I think that's where I'm gonna cut this video off. There we go. I just cleaned it up a little bit. There we go. All right. Boy, he is very upset. Nobody's listening to me. I'm mad. There we are. Right on. I don't care. You mad? Oh, and I just had it too. There we go. There we go. I got nothing. There we are. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Yay! Good enough to mount. There we go. Oh, and it, oof, wow, that stuck super quick, super fast. Oh my goodness. This is overkill is not necessary because that is definitely not going anywhere. But yeah, it's nicely. Yeah, that's good. And that's not it's just enough to keep it down and in place. Yeah, it's gonna look nice. And then I may draw a bead of hot glue under here, just to set it on top of it, just so it runs and keeps them nice and in place there. All right, now. Some of my birds, I actually USB-C extension. There we go. The reason I sometimes, not always, but sometimes I do, I'll stick just a little USB runner. Maybe I'll do that. I don't have to, but the reason being is like when you put the canopy on, it's nice to have a. This is really good on Radio Master for doing this. I like it. Actually, let's get a preview of what this is going to look like now. Alrighty. And it's the truth. Just a little, yeah, I'll probably do that. Maybe do tuck it behind a real clean shrink wrap with just the USB, and then obviously, you know, I'll run a line in here. Maybe I'll make it blue. To signify it's a data line. Who knows? But just to stick it right there, and then you have just a quick access. I mean, I can reach it, and you're not going in very often, but for downloading black box data and everything, I don't know. It's just a little convenience, and a nice little. Just set it right there. That'll be cool. Plug it in right there. And I have a little USB-C hotspot, or maybe fasten it here. Yeah, probably fasten it right around there. Who knows? I'll come up with some place to put it. I think that's going to be it for this this stream. He's having a meltdown still, so I'm going to go take care of him. And I mean, it's done. All that's left is tighten the frame with Loctite. I'm going to take that off and redo this tighter because I got my a proper wrench now. And the rest is going to be setting up Rotoflight. After this is set up the Rotoflight, and then make sure that all the switches and everything are working. The geometry's good. I think this will be where I'll wrap this up. This is done. I'm gonna do one more video, but it'll be a post-build video. My final thoughts, maybe some tips on the settings that I did for the Nexus and the flight controller. But specifically, I want to cover the manual page by page and the shit that pissed me off and the shit that I thought was cool. The good outweigh the bad, for sure. Don't walk away from this build series thinking that I hate this craft. I don't. I just didn't like a lot of how the build went down. Too many moments where I was just scratching my like, what did they mean there? Okay, I guess that's what they wanted, or like an image that they had on one page didn't match the image on the next page, and then I had to end up go back and change something. But it's essentially it's done. It looks good. The wiring and everything is clean. I'll do a little touch up on a few places to get this all finished nicely, but it's overall, it's a very clean looking build, and I'm happy with the way it came out. This is my first time doing paracord, and I'm going to do it from now on all my builds. I think it's a cool little effect. Giving yourself a color coded or a nice little paracord to match whatever the theme is of the helicopter. I've up till now I've always shrunk wrapped and put them in tubing, and then I tried braided tubing, which looks better, but paracord hands down looks much cooler. And and it shows that you took a little extra time and it was worth it, I think. All right, that's good enough. Give you a quick little pause it wherever you want. This will upload in 4K anyways. The next video, this thing will be done, and it'll be Rotoflight installed, and I'll just give an afterthought on the whole kit overall, and tips and points where I think you need to pay attention to when you're going through the manual and building it yourself. Thank you.